Hello everyone, welcome to another video. My name is Philip, I'm also known as PS or PS Enough. Today I'm gonna make a video about the video games that I've been playing on the last couple of months. Similar to PS Does Book Reviews, I'm gonna call it PS Does Video Game Reviews. What an amazing, innovative title. Anyways, let's get right into it. First few games that I've been playing. First on the mobile tablet, I don't have that many games. The main one that I play, and I play a lot of it, is Vainglory. It's a MOBA style of game, meaning you have two teams, one against the other. It's a 5 versus 5 MOBA, so 5 heroes on each side. You have to destroy each other's base first. And yeah, so this style of game is very famous. And Vainglory is one of the biggest names on the tablet doing MOBAs. That's one of the games that I've been playing. I played that a lot. The other game for the tablet that I've been playing is Monument Valley. It has come out a few years ago already, but I caught it free for download. It was on special sale or something, and it's quite good. It's like, if you like the work of Escher, the surrealism shapes that can twist around space and make connections where connections don't work. This game is a little bit about that, but in 3D. The ambience is really good, so I highly recommend it. Monument Valley, go check it out if you like those kind of simple puzzle games, but they have really good graphics and really nice music, and they're engaging. It's quite interesting. Anyways, moving on to the PC, I was doing some cleanup to my good old games Galaxy folder because I haven't been opening it a lot, so I've been trying to clean up some games that I had installed and haven't been playing for a long time. One of them was Prince of Persia. I only had played the first level, then I ended up just wanting to play the whole thing. I even recorded a live stream of it, or 2 live streams of it, although the sound was a bit screwed up, so I probably shouldn't recommend you guys to check it out. Anyways, Prince of Persia, the version released in 2008, not the Sands of Time trilogy. They say it's different from the Sands of Time trilogy. In the Sands of Time, you had more combat. You also had the thing that you could reverse time and do things differently. This one is different storyline. I'm not gonna go into the storyline because it's gonna take a long time. I'm just gonna say that it's different from the other ones. It's more acrobatic and cinematic, let's call it that. I really like the interaction between the two main characters, are Thief, the Prince of Persia, and the princess that he meets on the very first scenes. So very interesting connection there. I really like those little touches of communication they had between each other. It was really fun to play. The game itself was a little bit challenging, but it was, if you're used to action platformers, it was well done, and it reminded me a lot of Tomb Raider on some parts, and then I realized that it's from the same guys from is it Eidos? I don't remember the name. Ubisoft. Yeah, it's from Ubisoft, not Eidos. I'm sorry, Ubisoft. Ubisoft Montreal. I think it's the same guys that did the Tomb Raider, the reboots of the Tomb Raider, which had a lot of action scenes and were quite. I loved it a lot. So yeah, that's what I've been playing. I also played a little RPG Maker game called To the Moon, which was very nice. It has a very good storyline. The beginning felt a bit weird. I wasn't really getting into it much, but then when it started explaining the whole concept behind the thing, I started getting into it more. I really loved the work that they did with the music, embedding the theme into the whole game. The storyline started explaining all the characters and what happened between the characters, and it had really a lot of depth into it, so I really loved that game. I had already played one game from this creator, which was called Bird's Story. I also liked that one a lot, so I was happy to realize that it's the same guy. And there's another sequel or prequel to the Moon. Don't remember the name right now, but it was released, I think, this year or previous year, I'm not sure. So yeah, I want to check that one out as well. I think there are 2 DLCs available on Steam, and I also have To the Moon on Steam. So I'm going to check the 2 DLCs as well to see how that works out, if it's any good or not. They're probably also equally good. So yeah, highly recommend it. To the Moon was pretty good. Then on Steam, stuff that I've been playing. I played Remember Me, and I finished it whole completely. I was checking out Remember Me because it's from the same creators of Life is Strange. That's the damn name of the game. They made Life is Strange. I really loved Life is Strange when I played it. I completely loved it. I highly recommend it. So I thought, okay, let's check out what other stuff they did. And they made this game called Remember Me before. It's a cyberpunk kind of game. It has some fighting scenes. It has some storyline scenes. It's a bit hard to describe. I didn't like it for a few reasons. First, it was obviously a port from consoles. The controls were just not very good. The cameras were very annoying. They kept going to the wrong place. You wanted to move and keep rotating the view all the time. I really wasn't into it at all. But since it's so expensive, I felt like, okay, at least let's play it for the storyline. Just move these scenes along. So I got through the parkour part. The parkour part was okay. The fighting scenes were they started introducing some enemies that didn't really make much sense. Like you would hit them and you would lose the health, which would completely deny the purpose of having health bars to begin with. But I mean, there were some interesting elements into it. And then there were some other issues with it. The whole world itself was well conceived, like the cyberpunk world that it was in, with the memory glitches and memory stealing and stuff like that. But the storyline as it progressed was a bit cheesy and it didn't really work very well. So yeah, overall I didn't like the game much. I played it because of my OCD. I just wanted to complete it. But I really didn't like it and I don't recommend it. I mean, if you really like Cyberpunk and you don't get nauseous with camera controls as I do, maybe you'll like it, so check it out. But other than that, I wouldn't really recommend it much. What other games did I play on Steam recently? I checked out Satellite Rain. It was for free on steamgifts at some point, I think. Was it steamgifts or Humble Bundle? I don't know, maybe it was on the Humble Store. I don't remember anymore. Anyways, I got it for free. I went to check it out. It's supposed to be like Syndicate, if you played that game before. It's like a cyberpunk kind of world where you have hackers and stuff like that, and you do like teams, and you can control. It's like real-time strategy kind of thing, but for individual characters, if that makes sense. And you have some hacking, you have some shooting, you have some stealth elements. That all sounds good in paper, but when I was playing the game, the controls weren't very good. Like the one you should left click to move and right click to attack, and it wasn't like that. It was wrong or different. Then you had to memorize all the key shortcuts to do actions that you needed to do in real time, and it felt so counterintuitive that I didn't bother learning all those things. I just decided to quit at the end of the first mission. I was like, okay, this is counterintuitive. I'm feeling more frustrated than interested in the game. So despite the ambience looking pretty cool and the artwork seemed nice, the music seemed nice, the world itself seemed nice, the controls completely ruined the experience, so I had to give it up. Other stuff that I checked a couple of games that I even recorded a video about, Bong XL and Pivot XL. Both of them are like minimalistic arcade kind of thing. You only have one key and you do some changes to your paddle, let's call it that, and it's just a high score chaser. It has some merits. It's fun for a casual gameplay, but I was gonna say that's not my thing, but I like high score chasers. It depends a lot on the mood. So yeah, if you like high score arcade kind of games, these two are really good. They're really cheap, so for the price that you pay, it's really good value for price. You can compare your scores with your friends and stuff like that, and challenge them to some other things. So yeah, I recommend giving it a try. Both of them were quite interesting, and I think he released a third one, part of the whole bundle that was recently released. What else did I check? I checked Don't Starve Together. because it was free during the weekend, and I've been hearing a lot of good things about it, and I didn't really like it. It's sort of like Minecraft kind of thing, where you have to craft stuff to be able to do some more crafting of some more stuff and attacking people. It's more of a noir setting than Minecraft, which is usually up my alley, but I didn't really find it appealing. I guess I'm not much into crafting games. I did like Minecraft as well. I didn't really like that other game that was in 2D, what's it called? Terraria, I think, or Terrarium, something like that. I also heard a lot of good things about it, and when I checked it, it was like, yeah, it just doesn't interest me much. I don't see the appeal in it. I mean, the graphics look pretty good. The game seemed to have some sort of depth, but I get bored from doing the same actions all the time, so I didn't keep playing it. I was a bit disappointed by it. So yeah, that was my first impression of Don't Starve Together. Maybe, I guess it's just not my kind of game. Other games that I checked KaraKara, which is a visual novel kind of game with some etchy graphics. And if you don't know what visual novels is, it's more like, well, a novel that is just on the computer playing, and you see some graphics with the characters and dialogue between the characters. And visual novels is a style that popped up a lot in Japan. They focus a lot on cute characters, and KaraKara is also features cute characters. Usually they call it the harem base, which is like you're the main character and you're a boy, and you have all these girls which you try to end up hooking up with, dating somehow. They also have, like, there are visual novels and there are dating simulators, and they overlap a little bit. This one is not really a dating simulator, this is more a visual novel, and there are some patches. If you are over 18 and you want to have some sexy time, you can apply the patch and see those etchy characters doing some perverted things. Lewd, as they call it in game. So yeah, I checked that one. It was a very similar style to Nekopara. I think it uses the same engine and stuff. So yeah, if you like those kind of games, you can check out KaraKara. I think I'm forced to recommend it. Dead Space. I tried Dead Space because I like noir, dark kind of thing, and Dead Space I think was either free or I got it on sale, part of a bundle, I don't remember anymore. Anyways, I checked out Dead Space, and I was forced to check all these games on this last weekend because there was this special spring cleanup happening on Steam, where if you played the certain old games that you have on your inventory lying around and never touched, you would unlock a badge. So I felt, yeah, okay, this is a good excuse to try out the games. So I went and tried some. One of them was Dead Space, as I was mentioning. Dead Space seemed to have a very interesting story. It's like a terror horror kind of thing in space. Very alien inspired, I guess. I didn't really like the controls. It was third perspective, and it was similar to the issue that I have with Remember Me. The camera was just wrong, and I didn't like it. I was getting nauseous from playing it, so I decided to just give it up, and I didn't play it more than I don't know, 20 minutes, something like that. But yeah, if you like horror kind of stuff, and if you don't get nauseous as easily with third-person games as I do, check it out, I guess. Another game that I tried out was Transistor. Transistor was looking very, very good. I hadn't had time to play it before. I knew the guys who make it, which were from Pyre? No, it wasn't Braid. What was it called? Bastion. That's what it's called, Bastion. Same guys that made Bastion. I had played Bastion before. Really good game. Very high quality. The graphics, the voice acting, the whole world very on point. I also heard good things about Pyre, which also is by the same guys, and then I heard about Transistor. Transistor's been getting very good reviews, so I got it in the bundle, and I finally found time to try it out. and it is really good. I really recommend it. I haven't had time to play very much of it yet, but the first scenes that I played just seemed awesome. You know, look, it's almost cyberpunk kind of thing. Graphics are really, really good. High quality music. The action scenes also seem pretty consistent. So yeah, highly recommend it, and it's something that I'm gonna try and finish. Other stuff that I picked up: Tomb Raider Legend. It's one of the older Tomb Raiders before the reboot. I tried it also on part of the spring cleanup. It was interesting. I didn't like the controls, so that was pretty much why I stopped playing it. But the storyline and the puzzles were pretty okay. Graphical quality was a bit lower than I was expecting, but like the whole way that you move around on the map and jump from ledges and stuff was already very reminiscent of what they're doing on the new Tomb Raiders, but still done pretty well. So I was impressed that those Tomb Raiders already had that kind of level, because the original Tomb Raider that I remember didn't have that level of intricacy that this one, Tomb Raider Legend, had. So I was impressed by it, but the controls just felt wrong. So I ended up just dropping it and not playing it anymore. Another game that I installed for the spring cleanup was Borderlands 2. I already finished the main storyline on Borderlands 2, but I do have some DLCs that I haven't finished, so I played a couple more missions on those. If anyone is playing Borderlands 2 and wants to hook up for some playtime, ping me and we can set up a date and we can play some more. It's a very basic shooter, but you have some levels of some ways of leveling up your character. They are different from other shooters, and also the artwork is very interesting. And the storyline on all those missions that they give you is also quite interesting. I really enjoy, and the voice acting is very on point. So very good in that regard. The only problem is that you get bored because the missions are always the same. It's just go to this place on the map and shoot everything there, go to the other place on the map and shoot everything there. And if you're playing that alone, it gets a bit boring because it's always just, you know, aim and shoot, try not to die. It's more fun when you're 4 players, but unfortunately I was playing it with a few guys, but they no longer are playing Borderlands 2 anymore. So, or they restart from scratch, and then restarting from scratch you're just playing the same levels, and I want to continue the storyline, let's call it that. Other stuff that I've played: Lumino City. I also caught it. I already had it on my inventory for a long time. I wanted to check it. It won a lot of awards, especially for their artwork, I believe. It's kind of like an adventure point and click kind of game. But the interesting thing is that all the elements, instead of being 3D rendered, they were really modeled physically. And then they took photos of all the things. So that's how you see the world, and it looks very cute. It has a very nice look and feel to it. The puzzles didn't really convince me much. Then I got stuck in a scene and I kind of left it there. But I will probably try to pick it up and finish up and try to get unstuck from that scene at least, and see how the story evolves a little bit further. What other games I've been playing? Cubicle Quest. I installed Cubicle Quest, also part of the spring cleanup. I thought, yeah, it's an RPG Maker game. I have it lying around for a long time. I don't know where I got it. Probably from the Humble Bundle RPG Maker sale thing. Maybe I... Whoops, ran out of space on the mobile phone there. Sorry about that. It's the last game that I'm talking about, I promise. Cubicle Quest. I had it lying around. I don't know if I got it on Humble Bundle, maybe the RPG Maker sale bundle, maybe that might be in it, or maybe I got it through steamgifts. Anyways, I had it lying around and I always thought, yeah, yet another RPG Maker title. I might check it if I'm ever in the mood for like one more RPG. I like RPGs, but usually RPG Maker titles are not as good quality as you would expect, because on on the back of your mind, you're thinking that it's going to be another Final Fantasy. And it's never another Final Fantasy. It's like it's more amateur made, usually, the titles from RPG Maker. That's the truth. It's usually like 1, 2, 3 people, teams doing the thing. It doesn't have the quality control that those big titles that made JRPGs famous had. They don't have quality musicians usually. They don't have their own artwork style. The storyline is usually bad. It's written poorly. So it has a lot of issues usually, an RPG Maker title. But a few of them actually excel and make good work out of the platform that is the RPG Maker itself. Like I mentioned before, To the Moon, it's a good example of a well-made RPG Maker game. So I thought Cubicle Quest was not that good. I read the storyline and it just said that, okay, what if your daily work grind was turned into an adventure and you're off fighting for your work? And I'm like, okay, work is already boring. Fighting for work is not really gonna be very interesting. So I thought they couldn't really pull it off. That was my first impression. So I never really bothered playing it. I just saw the trailer and I read the abstract and I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe not. So I was forced to play it now from the spring sale, and I actually liked it. It was actually interesting. I was seeing the intro and I was thinking, yeah, this is not gonna be good because yeah, you are a working guy and now you're dreaming in Fantasyland. But then I started seeing all the analogies, and they actually transformed all the chores of the work world into enemies you have to defeat. And this sounds very cliche, very stupid, but it actually works, and they're like well thought out. And you have all these different areas, and all the different areas is one of the parts that you must evolve to get better in your life. So it's very interesting. It's like a grind for personal growth kind of thing, and they do explicit parallels there. Like video games are usually an escape from reality where you see very clearly defined goals, and that's what drives you to play. That's why you find fun in it. Otherwise it would just be work, and work sometimes feels bad to you because you don't see those clear objectives. You don't see how much you've grown since before. You don't have these clear areas that you explore and then you get awards for having done that. On work, you just, you get money and then you go home and then you have to do it again next month. So yeah, that's, and I really loved it that they made this parallel between the work and the game and what makes the game interesting and at the same time challenging. And that's exactly what you should be doing on your real life. You should see it as a game and have clear defined objectives and, focus on this thing, and then you see the overall picture of things, focus on another thing and evolve yourself and level up, unlock some abilities, get some more things, some objects that can help you improve your character, that kind of thing. I really love the whole way that they made Cubicle Quest. I might be hyping it a little bit, but I really loved it. I was impressed by it. It was not as originally perceived by me. So they did a good job, and I'm still playing it. I'm gonna try to finish it. So yeah, it was well done. So those were the games that I've been playing this month or couple of months. Let me know what you guys think. Have you ever played any of them? Any recommendations or similar style games? Do you disagree with some of my analysis on some of them? Do you completely agree? Let me know your thoughts on the comments below, and see you next time. Bye bye everyone. Take care.